Oh, it's deeply satisfying, and at this stage of life, your perspective changes. So you're looking at more like, what can I do to help others along the way, and maybe give them the guidance I couldn't see at that point in life.
Why don't you start by telling them a little bit about what you do?
So I'm presently retired after 27 years in banking, and then followed by another 10 years in consulting in the financial services industry. I also served for 26 years in the military in the Marine Corps and Air National Guard. So I'm at the stage of life now where I'm, looking to pursue nonprofit um, roles related to supporting veterans and veteran causes. I also wanted to, in the wake of receiving my PhD, I wanted to write a book on ethics so that I could tap into all the research that I did um, for my dissertation.
And yet you still sought out help with the book despite all your writing and experiences. Tell me a little bit more about why you sought help.
We all have, strengths and expertise, but organizing our thoughts the way a reader would want to see them, and a reader doesn't necessarily have the subject knowledge we have, requires getting outside perspective.
For most of the time, the more expertise you have, the better. With books, it's a little bit different. Actually, the more expertise and experiences that you have, including a PhD, the more potential gap or disconnect between you and the reader, because of course, the reader is coming to your book without a lot of knowledge, and you have just an incredible amount of knowledge. So it can be hard for you to get in the shoes of the reader and think from the perspective given that disconnect. What do you think was most helpful about the program in helping you bridge that gap between yourself and the reader?
Just the one-on-one nature of it, and you guys holding me to a pretty disciplined schedule of, hey, get these thoughts in this sequence, the introduction, the chapter sequence, laying it out so that it logically flows.
Fast forward to now, the you have a complete manuscript, you're on the cusp of publishing it. How does that feel for you?
Deeply satisfying. We'll never, well, I'll know, I guess, in 6 months how the book is received, but I think even if it doesn't meet my expectations on that front, I do the body of work that I put forward. I believe is high quality, and it can benefit people, and it reflects, my experience and my teaching and learning in the banking and in the military world about ethics. And I do believe we have a serious problem in this country with ethics being manipulated, and I hope people who read this book will at least take that away and seek to reform ethics and make it put it on a basis of one truth.
How do you think the book might have turned out if you hadn't sought help?
I'm convinced that I needed that help in channeling my efforts and my thoughts, and distilling them into, again, a logical, flowing, readable document that will engage people.
You also were in the group session. I know you were in the group sessions with us. So talk a little bit about those and how they helped along your journey.
It was very engaging. And the group sessions were very good and helpful in just giving overall perspective. But the most valuable part of the engagement was just the discipline it imposed on me.
What people don't understand, what you might not understand if you're watching this, a book is a little bit different because, especially when you're writing the book itself, you're not getting paid for it, right? So you kind of have to prioritize a longer project that does take time investment over something else that probably is giving you money, whether it's your business, your career, all of that stuff. So, that's what I think a lot of people need to think through is I see a lot of folks that are a little bit more overconfident about their ability to get the book done because they're thinking, hey, it's just going to be like all the other stuff that I started and finished. And time and time again, I see just incredibly accomplished folks like yourself, not finish the book. And I loved how you had a different mindset than that, where it's like, hey, I haven't done a book before, even though I've done all these other things. And I really do think that it would be helpful to kind of get that support.
The dissertation is a rigorous and painstaking process, Writing a book is a whole different ballgame. You have to engage a reader, uh, ultimately to sell books.
Congrats on the incredible career, and then having a book at the end of it must feel pretty good.
However it's received, I'm thankful that I was able to put up and actually put something together that was accepted by a publisher, because that's not an automatic.
Thank you so much for coming by and coming on, and see you soon.
All right, Simon, all the best.